While I was at MPG, I was visiting Michelle's booth, Drop Anchor Creations, and I'll put all of this information in the video description. And I found this really cool smiley face blank. Isn't that neat? And I've got this incredible Sierra Gold and Prism kit, and I think it's going to look really good. So we're going to go ahead and get this over to the disc sander, and I'm going to square the ends of the blank, and we're going to turn it. I've got my blank chucked up. There was no pre-work involved with this blank. It already came tubed and the ends were squared to the tube. So we just need to get out the old skew and turn it true. I finished micromeshing the blank. It has a gorgeous finish. I don't see a single scratch in it. I'm very happy. One thing that occurred to me though is the ends of this blank are made of hemp. I did not seal those with CA before I started sanding. So I think what I'm going to have to do is set this blank aside. We're going to let it dry for maybe a week, 2 weeks. Then I'll come back and lay down a couple of layers of CA. I'll do my standard regimen, 5 thin, 5 medium, and then we'll repolish this blank with the micromesh. We should get just as gorgeous of a finish, but it'll also seal the hemp so that it doesn't, it doesn't get damp from oils in the hand or anything else and separate. Plus, I'm worried that it may swell a little bit now that it's absorbed the water from the micromesh process. So we'll be back with this blank once it's had time to fully dry. I've given the blank plenty of time to dry, and now I just want to clean it with some denatured alcohol before we start applying our CA finish. Normally I would not put a CA finish over top of a clear Alumilite resin blank, but since this is a hybrid with both wood and resin, we have to seal the wood so we don't have much of a choice. That's why polishing up and getting it looking perfect first, then cleaning it really well, will allow us to put a nice smooth layer of CA over the resin, and we should be able to micromesh that and get just as beautiful of a mirror finish as we had with the resin prior to adding the CA. I'm going to shut the camera off and finish out my CA regiment. It'll be 5 coats of thin, followed by 5 coats of medium, and then we will micromesh. Let's remove our blank from the lathe. Pop the non-stick bushings off. Now we'll head over to the disc sander and clean up the ends of our blank. Upon closer inspection, it looks like we laid down a nice smooth coat of CA. Let's go ahead and micromesh. And we're going to micromesh wet for 15 seconds. We'll wipe the slurry off of our blank and move on to the next pad. Micromeshing went extremely well, and we have a gorgeous shine on our blank. I'm going to hit it with some Renaissance wax, buff it up, and we'll meet again at the assembly table where we're going to assemble this blank into a kit. We are ready to get this blank pressed into a kit. I'm going to start by chamfering the edges of the blank with my deburring tool. We're going to hit it with our brush to get all of the little brass shavings out of there. I'm going to grab my clip, put my bushing in the front, line that clip up with the seam on the back of the blank, and press it together. There we go. That was a little bit tricky. Sometimes these Sierra caps are tough to get started, but once you get them started, then they go ahead and they seat very nicely. Let me get a little closer look at the body of this, how it fits up next to the cap. Take a look at that fit. And we laid the clip right on the seam. Let's go ahead and assemble our nib. I took the little rubber ball off the end of the ink refill. I've put the spring on. We're going to drop that into the nib section. I'm going to seat the transmission. We're going to tighten it down, work it a couple of times, and we're ready to seat it into the pin. And I think we have a really cute pin. I'd like to thank you for joining me. This was a fun little turn, just totally a blast to make. I love the kit. I love the blank. I think it's incredible. I think I'm going to give this one to my son's girlfriend. I think she'll really get a kick out of it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a great evening.